the man himself, Mr. Arnold Roberts. I hand over to our United National Congress candidate, our next member of Parliament for the constituency of Pointe, Dr. David Lee.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Chris. I want to say thank you to everyone this afternoon. We had a wonderful, wonderful walk here in Taruba. I think we mashed up Taruba today. Won't you say so? I want to say a special thank you for Shane and all the Tarubians for coming out and support me this afternoon. I could not have done it without you. Thank you so much. I want also to say thank you to the young men and women who came out today, the young youths. I want to give a special thank you to the TASA group that just played here this afternoon. Can we give them a round of applause? The young TASA men from Gopal Lands. Philip, Hirilal, I want to thank you so much for your kids for coming out today and supporting me. I want also to thank all my staff, Krishna the mic man, the DJ Papi. I want to say a special thank you to the photographers and my truckmen and driver who has been ensuring that we have the rhythm to keep us going on our long walks. I think we all deserve to give ourselves a round of applause here this afternoon. I also like, before we close, we always close with a prayer. So I like to ask my wife to come up and say the closing prayer. Mrs. Lee. So can we just have a moment of silence while Mrs. Lee says the final prayer?
Let's just close our eyes. Dear God, we just thank you for today. We just thank you that you have brought us out and kept us safe thus far. I want to thank you, oh God, for all of the supporters who would have been here day in, day after day, just lending their support. I want to thank you for Mr. Bagwandeen and Mr. Shanif in particular, God, who has been there with us and day in, day out. I pray that you would renew their strength, and everyone that walk consistently and continuously, that you strengthen them and refresh them at this time. I pray, oh God, more will be for us than are against us in this election. And I pray a special blessing on the candidate and on my husband. I pray that you will protect him, you will continue to guard and guide him, that you will continue to give him wisdom and understanding, and to lead in humility. I thank you that at the end of this, oh God, that there will be a love that far supersedes the election, and that Pointe Pierre would remain a model constituency. We thank you. Thank you for keeping us, and bring us back at the next appointed time in your name.
Thank you. Now you see why I have to behave myself. So, I could not put down the wine today. Annie, wherever Annie is, I had to behave myself, Annie. Okay? So, I want to thank all of you all again. Douglas Politics is coming up at 6 o'clock. Archie, I want to thank Archie and the Atlantic Communication, who has been doing a fantastic job on behalf of the party. Can we give Mr. Archie, William Archie, a round of applause? Atlantic Communication right in Marabella. I want you all to partake in his business and give him the support that is required. I want to thank my partner here, my buddy, Fazil Jahu, for all the lovely jerseys we have been wearing. I want to say thank you, Fazil. And my brother, Danny Solomon, for always accompanying us on the walk. A special thank you to Mr. Mackenzie and Brent Sancho. Brent, come over here. Brent has been my brother for a while. He walked with me over in Diamond on the north side of Pointe Pierre. We mashed them up in Diamond and Windsor Park and Phoenix. And today he's in Taruba. And we mash them up in the south part. So on August the 10th, the United National Congress and Pointe Pierre will be yellow once again on August the 10th. So I ask you to come out in your numbers on August the 10th. Come out early on the morning of August the 10th. And do not take anything for granted. Bring out all the votes, and it's about bringing back the greatest prime minister this country has ever had, and that is the Honorable Kamla Persad Bissessar. So I thank you. I think we have some light refreshments. We have doubles just now, so we ask not to congregate in a bunch. And so, please respect the social distancing. Annie, make sure they behave themselves, please. Okay, so thank you. Douglas Politics is coming on in the next 15 minutes. Anil Roberts will join us. I will spend a little time with Anil, but I have to go because all the candidates for the United Nations Congress will be announced tonight. We are having a live meeting with only the 39 candidates and the political leader. So please forgive me if I have to rush off because I have to change and go to be announced. So again, thank you so much. Give yourself hip hip, hip hip, hip hip. I thank you.
Yes, folks, so Douglas Politics is going to be running on time, hopefully. We know the crowd here, I'm afraid to say it's so thick, but a little bit of traffic to reach here. Anil is on his way. He's being escorted by police, I understand. So he should be arriving on location any minute now, and we shall have the start of a special edition of Douglas Politics live from Taruba, the main junction. So stay tuned and take in some of the sights. And don't forget, after Douglas Politics, we go straight to the official presentation of all the candidates for elections 2020. All the UNC candidates shall be presented live, and you can take it in live on all UNC networks and YouTube right here. You don't have to get up and move. We will be going straight across to that presentation. So we have a jam-packed evening for you here this evening. So stay tuned.
Kamala winning, no stressing. Kamala winning, no stressing. Kamala winning, no stressing. Possessing. Yo, UNC better. There is no other. The best party, everything proper. UNC better. Big up anti Kamala, she deliver promises and nobody suffer. UNC better, they do the thing better. The whole place yellow, just like cheddar. UNC better, only hot steppers beating everybody. They don't leave no weapon. UNC have the steppers. They don't know they better than no other party can run. UNC have the steppers. They don't know they better than No other party can run this land. Have the steppers, the steppers, the steppers. Kamala, we rated. Auntie Kamala, not basic. She step out, make the place lit. All the seats Kamala take it. All them party, them fake it. UNC, them can't hate it. UNC. Yo. UNC better, there is no other. The best party, everything proper. UNC better, big up Auntie Kamala. She deliver promises and nobody suffer. UNC better, they do the thing better. The whole place yellow, just like cheddar. UNC better, only hot steppers beating everybody. They don't need no weapon. UNC have the steppers, you don't know they better than. No other party can run this land. Have the steppers, you don't know they better than. No other party can run this land. They have the steppers, the steppers, the steppers.
Hey, that's a me. Is your child? Yes, folks, a little bit of breaking news. Douglas Politics, which should, the host, who's supposed to have been here by now, has been detained by the police at the beginning of Karuba Road. But apparently he's getting a ticket. He's getting a ticket. So he's a couple minutes delayed, but we shall be starting nevertheless on time at 6 o'clock. I think the police has given him a ticket for something, but he will reach.
Check, check, check.
It's the time for action. What time it is? What time it is? What time it is? Now is the time for action. Now is the time to cast your vote. Now is the time to start to work. Now is the time we bring your hope. Now is the time for action. Now is the time to take a stand. Constituency have the plan. Put up your hand if you understand. Now is the time to put them out. 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 Now is the time. No, no, the time is no, no, no. The time is no, no, no. The time is no, no, no. What time it is? What time it is? What time it is? Now is the time for action. What time it is? What time it is? What time it is? Now is the time for action. Now is the time to cast your vote. Now is the time to start to work. Now is the time we bring your hope. Now is the time for action. Now is the time to take a stand. Constituency have the plan. Put up your hand if you understand. Now is the time to put them out. 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 Now is the time. No, no, no. The time is no, no, no. The time is no, no, no. The time is no, no, no. What time it is? What time it is? What time it is? Now is the time for action. What time it is? What time it is? What time it is? Now is the time for action. Now is the time to cast your vote. Now is the time to start to work. Now is the time we bring your hope. Now is the time for action. Now is the time to take a stand. Constituency have the plan. Put up your hand if you understand. Now is the time to put them out. 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 Now is the time. No, no, no. The time is no, no, no. The time is no, no, no. The time is no, no, no. What time it is? What time it is? What time it is? Now is the time for action. What time it is? What time it is? What time it is? Now is the time for action. Now is the time to cast your vote. Now is the time to start to work. Now is the time we bring your hope. Now is the time for action. Now is the time to take a stand. Constituency have the plan. Put up your hand if you understand. Now is the time to put them out. Now is the time to put them out. Now is the time to put them out.
Listen, take some education. Listen, listen, come on. Look back up your valleys there, B&M have to go. Just now is election, we bringing back UNC.
Anil is back to deal with the P&M. And to you on the radio, and to you watching on TV, do not adjust your dial. It is Anil you're seeing right here, live and direct. Never went anywhere. Because the Douglas can talk either way. Because the Douglas can talk either way. And welcome to Douglas Politics. Good afternoon. We in the constituency of Pointe, Pierre. Make some noise, Pointe, Pierre. We have with David Lee, the next member of parliament again for a second term for the United National Congress. Good afternoon, Mr. David Lee.
Good afternoon, Anil, and welcome to Pointe Pierre in the area of Taruba. We just finished a fantastic walk this afternoon with all my supporters and all the United National Congress people who have been supporting us, and as a party and myself as a MP for Pointe Pierre in the last 5 years. I would like to thank them for all their love and support over the last 5 years, and I'm looking forward to serving them again for another 5 years.
Talk to me about that serving the people, because Kamla Prasad Bisesa always says serve the people. I know you are a man in politics. We see a lot of people on the red side who don't like people. They don't love people. They change their phone number. They tint their glass dark. They don't walk with the people. They don't check the people. Talk to me a bit about the service that you have offered these people at Pointe Pierre over the last 5 years.
Well, you know, Anil, I'm about serving the people. Our leader, Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa, about serve the people, serve the people, serve the people. And even though we were in opposition for the last 5 years, we served the people in the best way that we could. I mean, there hasn't been anything that once I am able to get the kind of donation and support, I have been giving it to throughout Pointe Pierre. Now, Pointe Pierre not only is the southern part of Pointe Pierre is right here in Taruba. Pointe Pierre starts from the north side of Windsor Park, Phoenix Park, all the way down to Taruba. So it's a very large constituency. And as you know, it's separated between the north and the south by the Petrotrin refinery, which was closed down by this wicked P&M government. And as you said, there's a candidate for the P&M who drives around with his heavy tinted glass. He lives right here in Taruba.
So he going and lost and he tinted glass already?
No.
Boy, don't make a joke. You going and lost your tinted glass, you know what we see, you get the cocktail off.
Well, Anil, I'm not so vicious like you are, but we respect everybody here. He's homegrown, as they say, but the people are fed up with that. They're fed up with this Rowley government. They have not performed anything in the last 5 years, so that it is hard for them now. When they closed down the refinery, over 10,000 individuals, some of them right here working in Taruba, have been out of work for the last especially the last 2 years that the refinery has been closed down. So it is very hard given what has been happening with the economy and everything. And once we are returned to power on August the 10th, I want to pledge to the people of Taruba on August 11th, work will start in Taruba. I want to tell them, the last MP for the UNC they call him Danraj Singh. I will be the Chinese Danraj Singh. When we form government on August the 11th, 2020, in a few days' time.
I know you're a nice fella, but they have a fella going up in a light blue jersey. Let me tell you something, not you, David Lee. He might respect everybody and things. Let me tell you, I read in the papers about you want no comment. Nobody asked you nothing. Kamla was talking to people who could get more than 200 votes. You never get more than 200 votes. You go and get 103 votes, and your family in the area is 104. One of your family won't even vote for you. We ain't talking to you.
I hope that is not the man you're talking about.
That the man who say he's a labor man and everybody get fire and them celebrate.
I think he was responsible for shutting down Petrotrin.
Yes, and he did nothing. And then telling us about Trafigura and Venezuela and Maduro. We only want the Archie. What happened? I see you wearing a blue shirt. The man said, use the 104th vote. Yeah, tell me about Trafigura, PTE, and PDVSA and Venezuela. But talk to me about that Petrotrin shutdown. You were in the parliament.
That's
And
right.
there were 3 reports: Lashley, McKinley, and Solomon. What the
Correct.
report said? You read them.
I mean, I sit as part of the Energy Committee in Parliament, and the Energy Committee has not sat in over 2 years. I mean, Imbert is the chairman of that committee, and he purposely has not convened.
2 years.
2 years, literally has not convened an energy committee. And what has happened in the last 2 years, as you all know, that this wicked government with Espine shut down Petrotrin, sent home everyone. Even the small and medium businesses right here in Marabella have been decimated with the closure of Petrotrin. Lives have been put on hold. Unemployment has skyrocketed right here in the constituency of Pointe. And when you look at Point Lisas, the amount of energy plants that have shut down in the last 5 years, starting with ArcelorMittal, a lot of the constituents of Pointe used to work in ArcelorMittal, and they no longer have work. Rowley, government, and Imbert have not tried to save any of their jobs in the last 5 years. It has been a wicked government, and we must send a clear message on August the 10th. And who we voting for? UNC.
Now, and this is why we're going to work and vote resoundingly for the UNC. You are just talking about Point Lisas, about ArcelorMittal, about Petrotrin. The reason that Point Lisas is now running at 22% capacity is Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. He took it upon himself to negotiate, and when those intelligent people at EOG and BPTT and those upstreamers, when they found a bubbly, they negotiated with him, and their profits increased by 67%, and we went down by 67%, and everybody shutting down. How do we turn that around?
Well, once we return to government, Mrs. Bissett said she will restart and ensure that the refinery is returned to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and give them the fuel security that they deserve. Because right now, what has happened is with the decimation of Petrotrin, we have to purchase our fuel outside there, where we used to be a net earner of foreign exchange because we used to have our own fuel. I want to also tell the fisher folks of throughout Trinidad and Tobago, we will be bringing back that regular gas that is so required, which is required to help them offset the high expenses of gas, which eats away at their profits, so that we will return the regular fuel for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, especially the fishermen and the fisher folks of Trinidad and Tobago. I want to promise them that here today.
What else you have to increase job creation over? As you said, in 5 years, jobs, the Petrotrin had a knock-on effect, a negative multiplier, where people, hairdressers shut down.
That's right.
Caterers, restaurant, bars shut down. What we have to do to re-energize and pump some energy and life into Point.
We will put incentives for the small and medium businesses for them to be able to sustain and survive during the next period once we return to government, and put some incentive for the manufacturing sector. We will ensure that the dreaded property tax is no longer existing on the books. I want to ensure the people of Taruba, and there are many people who are fearful of that, the property tax will be dismantled by the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bissessa. And there will no longer be a property tax in the way that Imbert and Rowley wants to bring it on the people of Trinidad and Tobago. There was something long time called a land and building taxes, which was a fair value on your property, and we will return that, because, you know, walking around, the older folks like to pay some sort of land and building taxes. They like to pay that, but it was affordable to all, and we will ensure that the people of Trinidad and Tobago have an affordable land and building tax like the old way that we knew. So that dreaded property tax will no longer exist. I think that is one of the first promises of Kamla Prasad Bissessa, that she will dismantle that from the law books of Trinidad and Tobago.
You all share the live, please, and we have Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley looking. Hey, blank man, how you going, my brother? Shooting blanks? It's all right just now. It's okay. We'll deal with that medically. Talk to blank man and explain to him how cutting taxes, especially corporate taxes for big business, small and micro, how that encourages investment and creates growth in the economy and leads to overall cumulative greater revenue.
Correct. When you cut the taxes for the business people, what will happen is that they have more money to be able to regenerate hire more people, and put back into the economy. And it's really a knock-on effect that will happen. Now, this Rowley government is about tax, tax, tax. That's all they know. But as you talk about the blank man, I want to say it properly, the blank man. I saw him.
Why is the black man? You understand? Rowley, you wasn't black since 1961. Alright? I the black man. You the blank man.
I wanna talk about a bit about Rowley and Petrotrin. Right here in Marabella, about 2 years ago, he made a statement in the Marabella Community Center that he was not closing down Petrotrin. You remember that? And he said if you miss and you happen to be opening your refrigerator, I want to repeat, he was not shutting down Petrotrin. A couple days later, he shut down Petrotrin. So that is a man who does not speak the truth. I noticed yesterday when he was filing his nomination form in Diego Martin West, our candidate for United National Congress, Marsha waited, as you know, we have the quorum in United National Congress. She waited to greet the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley, the Prime Minister, and he actually blew her away. He didn't want to speak to her. Now, what kind of man is that? What decorum that man is sending to the people of Trinidad and Tobago? This is your Prime Minister, and we have a lovely lady like Marsha. Marsha Walker is our candidate, and she's waiting to greet him, and he doesn't want to speak to her.
And he had the audacity right after that, when trying to create a couture that Kamla Prasad Bisesa, who does not have a racist bone in her body, who's been in public life since 1980s, early 1980s, who has been Prime Minister of this country, whose policies have uplifted Afro-Trinbagonians across the country. You built MIC Center in Tobago. Tobago got the first gas station. Fisherman in Tobago was getting some assistance. She was going to put a university in Tobago with you and Fazal Karim. Her policies of school feeding, laptop, textbooks, sport, culture, pan, everything, football, she's supported across the board. This man tried to play a game when he's the blank man, but then goes down in his constituency and says that children can be proud of me after he disrespects a young lady who's a first-time candidate in the politics.
As you say, MIC, Anil, Kamla Prasad Bisesa gave throughout Trinidad and Tobago. What we did when I was chairman of MIC and working with Kamla Prasad Bisesa as the Prime Minister, she actually opened a MIC Technology Center in the Diamondville Industrial Estate, the first of its kind in the Prime Minister Rowley's constituency, you know.
She opened a primary school too, the first one in 20 years as
correct,
MP,
and a first state-of-the-art health center in Carenage. So if that isn't equality and fairness throughout Trinidad and Tobago, I don't know what it is.
Talk to me a bit more about Pointe, Pierre. I must say some of these Taruba roads and so on, we know that in opposition, and this is the difference between Kamla and Rowley. In opposition, I was Minister of Sport. I did grounds in Labray. I did grounds in Point 14. Marlene McDonald had the audacity to ask me a question about who gets support. And when I answered a question and she had Mango Rose, Lavanti, Malabar, she had Arima, she had Maloney, she had all the PNM constituencies. She begged the speaker to tell me hush. But she asked me the question, you know. But here, you have been an MP for 5 years. Please let these people know how the PNM treat members of parliament who are in the opposition with disrespect. How many letters did you write for different things, and what were the responses of the PNM ministers?
Anil, for the last 5 years, it has been the worst the opposition has ever been treated, according to Kamla Prasad Bisesa, in her experience as a politician with this government. They had 24 votes really with the speaker. And I want to tell the people of Taruba, being in opposition, I have written many letters to the Minister of Works and Transport. I have written many letters to the Sugar Welfare Board to try and regularize the land problems that we have right here in Taruba. I have written to WASA just recently to start repairing the roads that they are now rushing to fix before election on August the 10th. I want to tell the people, do not be fooled. I want to say that when we return to power on August 11th, I am telling you, I'll be the Chinese Danraj Singh, and I will ensure that there are proper infrastructure right here in Taruba for the people of Taruba who have suffered so long, and enough is enough. I want to also tell them, do not be fooled by the candidate for PNM who is going around promising jobs to the people of Taruba. He did not do anything for you in 5 years, and he was a hierarchy of the PNM government. So do not be fooled and feel that at the 99th hour, he can do something for you and the twilight of their demise on August the 10th.
Petrotrin, the oil and gas sector, a lot of sponsorship used to come out for sport and culture. When they shut down Petrotrin, Espinay said that supporting PAN was just a game, and it was a game that politicians play, disrespecting the national instrument. What is your belief for the national instrument with culture, opportunities in sport for young people, especially in Pointe-a-Pierre?
I think we really need that, Anil, someone like yourself as a dynamic minister support sport. We had Brent Sancho walking with me this afternoon. We'll ensure that the Taruba grounds is returned to a proper playing field, to have proper cricket that we're so accustomed right here in Taruba, and fix over the little bleachers that we have here. And I want to also say, I have written to Petrotrin while we were in power for in government, while they were in government the last 5 years. They have not answered anything. I've asked them to assist the people of Pointe-a-Pierre to develop the Flower Pot Beach facility. They have denied the people of that, and I want to ensure the people in the first 90 days, I will develop beach facility, because there are so many religious activities that take place there, and the people have been crying out for better facilities. That Flower Pot Beach, I will ensure that there are proper parking facilities and proper lighting and security is in place for the people when they go to Flower Pot Beach.
What I love as I visited the Pointe-a-Pierre is to see all the cultures, all the ethnicities, all the religions all coming together. Talk to me a bit about the different cultures that you have seen in Pointe-a-Pierre and how you have brought all groups together under the UNC banner.
Well, just this afternoon, and in our walk, you have seen the young children walking with us this afternoon. You had the different races walking with us, the different religions walking with us, and that augurs well for the diversity of the United National Congress. And I want to thank them for coming out in their numbers here this afternoon. I don't know if it's because of you coming here at this junction. Now, this junction that we are having this meeting is a very famous junction. We normally, when we have a meeting here, the UNC normally goes into power when we have a meeting right here. So that is why we picked here this afternoon, Anil, to have your meeting here this afternoon. I want to thank the community for coming out to support me as your candidate and the next MP for Pointe-a-Pierre. But as I say that, Anil, I have to go.
But before you go, look in the camera. The people of Pointe-a-Pierre are looking. Share the live, please. Share the live and listen to the next member of parliament for Pointe-a-Pierre, David Lee. And let me tell you what, I don't make jokes. The man loves people. The man is a humble man. The man is an intelligent man. And the man will serve you without hiding, without tinting, without changing cell, without picking 25 numbers and say only 25 people on a Tuesday. Kamala says, see every single person. Talk to the people and tell them.
Thank you, Anil. I want to say before I close, I will ensure that there's equity, fairness, and accountability in my time as the MP for the next 5 years. I will ensure that Pointe-a-Pierre is developed, the infrastructure is developed that is so critically needed in this community. This community has been neglected, and it's time that we give them what is due for them, especially infrastructure and the drainage that is so critical. And the people do not ask for much. They just want some proper drainage, road infrastructure, and then we'll take it from there and develop culture, sport, and all the other facilities that go along with it. So I want to say thank you, Anil, for coming down here. I want to can we give Anil a round of applause? As I leave, I want you all to stay and give Anil the Taruba love and welcome that we know that we can give him right here in Pointe-a-Pierre. So again, Anil, thank you so much.
Thank you, David Lee. The next MP for Pointe-a-Pierre, he has to go because at 7:30, the United National Congress announcing and celebrating all 39 candidates. After Douglas Politics, we going live. David Lee, we coming right back.
Now is the time! No! The time is no! The time is no! The time is no!
Here we are in Akono village walking with our candidate, Mr. David Nakid. This is his hometown, and I think there are about 197 Nakids in this village.
Right now, everything we're looking great so far, you know, our candidate, you know, sticking up to the word, you know. Right now, we started with agriculture, I think up in the back of Kono for the youths and them to bring them out, you know, get them employment. David Naked, well, you know, David Naked is a down to earth man. Cool, he humble, you know, he just listen, he arms open out for everyone. Yeah, David representing the youths, you know. Yes, right now we are on the great road to victory.
Hi everyone, I'm your candidate for Tenafuna, David Naked, asking you to come take a look at the energy that the UNC is generating all around the East-West corridor, especially here in the constituency of Tenafuna. Come out and support our economic and social transformation package, designated by our PL coming up for South DP.Sat. 50,000 more jobs, lower taxes. Come and join with us moving forward with unity.
Hi, yeah, nice to meet you. Right, looking forward to the support. Things going very well here at Paria San Juan. The energy is high, the election bell has rung, and Paria San Juan is ready to get Trinidad and Tobago working again under the leadership of the Honorable DP.Sat as our next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
I am Sharon Marad Durham, Shadow Councillor for Paria, and we have been working Paria since last Wednesday. So far, when we are finished today, we would have completed 14 of our PDs, and the reception is exceptional. Everyone is coming out. In places where we think people wouldn't be coming out, they are coming out. Now is the time for the United National Congress. It's pace on the road.
Now is the time to put them out. 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 Now is the time to put them out.
Yes, and welcome back. Are we on? Are we on? Welcome back to Douglas Politics. Share the line now. Hey, Taruba, make some noise. Let me tell you something. I'm reading a little papers here, and I hear this group Womantra. Womantra come out to attack Orphan Alves for a song he sing. Now I hear the song, I like this song, and this song is an interesting soca song, of which he's bigging up Latin women and saying, muy linda and so on. Womantra take offense with a song that now drop in 3 days and make a statement against it, say it's degrading and so on. I don't even know if they understand the lyrics, because the way I interpret the song, Orphan Alves is respecting the women, bigging them up and saying no matter what your past is, you can move on higher and higher. That's a good thing. But Womantra, I have no problem with that, you know. But Keith Christopher Rowley just stand up and say that Darrell Smith, who grabbed Pum Pum, didn't do nothing, and he didn't fire him for nothing, and all you're not gonna say, he bad dog, he said the woman must lie. He said that Darrell Smith only get fired because he interfered in a process, when the whole world know that he fired the girl because she didn't want to give him Pum Pum, and y'all ain't say nothing. Y'all didn't say Keith Rowley, that is disgraceful. That is embarrassing, woman. You are victim shaming. You are calling the woman a liar. It's been going on for 3 years. When the woman did a report, the 3 professional, intelligent women, you throw away the report. You and Al-Rawi, Ala Tight Pants, attack the woman like the PNM men have a problem with women, and they line with Roger, who lean to the left. I don't know what that left mean. It mean maybe stand up on a hill in Taruba too long. I don't know what that is. So Womantra, give me a rest on Orphan Alves now and talk some serious issues. When you have Camille Robinson Regis, the head of the Women's Youth League, siding with Grabby Wabby over a PNM lady, and y'all are saying nothing. The Me Too movement is a serious movement. That was the most disgraceful event in the history of politics, and all they talk about Orphan Alves, nice soca. Let me tell, I have a little article here. The Guardian trying to say Kamala was blanked. Now Guardian, I don't know if you all understand the English language. There's a difference between an accommodation and an accord and a coalition. Pierre said she wants an accord with some smaller parties. But what she really meant was parties that will make a difference. I see y'all going and interview a set of people. Not one of them go cross 200 vote in the constituency. We would do Kamala get blank by them. 200 vote out of 18,000, a total of 24,000, but not everybody's always vote. But in most constituencies, you get between 16 and 18,000. You go and ask human beings who will not cross 200. You have a man here who going up a Pointe up here. If he cross 200, I eat 6 roti on Douglas politics one time. Till my belly bust. They have a next one who was going to screen for the PNM, but then they didn't let him screen and then he jumped back out. If he cross 89 vote, go be good. They have a next one with gray hair, nice Heleno, but ungrateful. If he cross 300 vote, I will be shocked. And then our next one, he family in the constituency where he is 23 and he get 9 vote. So me I know all that talk about. Man family he vote for you. However, there's one man who jump in. One man who going to claim some vote up in Lopino Bonnier. That man might be who we talking to. You understand? Because that man might get over 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 votes. So it's really he. And let's see what he said. Jack Warner. It's too early for me to say if I join up with the UNC. I have to talk to my executive. It's a very good idea. Better late than never. But why so late in coming? We'd called for unity and it was rejected. But we will talk. The only man with a chance say yes, we want our accord. All the rest all you could drive our accord and leave in a Honda because you're not interested in that. All you're wasting people time. Keith Christopher Rowley. Jack Austin Warner has just told the population the truth. In 2015, he had a little tabanka. He was a little bit upset. And it warped his thinking, and for some reason he thought that a man like Keith Rowley could be taken at his word. Jack, oh God, Jack, but you know Rowley long time, Jack. Oh Lord, you had a Taranji Banji and there your brain wasn't thinking, but all right, I forgive you, Jack. There is a man that gravel rolled from by a hospital to somewhere by he. There is a man who gave his friend to go up in the sky in Shorelands and everybody make money. The land went up from 10 million to 850 million. There is a man who when he went into Ministry of Housing had no approval, no certificate, no change of use, no land use, and went and built in Greenvale, and people nearly drowned the other day. Is he was the Minister of Housing? Is he built them thing in Edinburgh 500 that have finished without statutory approval, without WASA, without TNTEC, and he admitted? Is he as Minister of Housing build LaSalle Touras? But Jack, is he come with email gate? You thought he would tell you the truth by Kenny in Westmorris, Jack? Jack! I accept your apology, but the pain of the people, 103,000 people lost jobs under him, Jack. The economy lost 11%. Jack, GDP went down from $152 billion in Kamala in 2014 down to 118 billion, Jack. Pointe Lisas had 72% occupancy under Kamala, Jack. It's down to 22%, Jack. We were selling more roti. We were selling more hairdressing. Women were doing their nails more, Jack. What you do, we boy? But I forgive you. I forgive you. I accept your apology. Let's listen to Jack Warner. Former Minister Jack Warner said he conspired to help PNM win the 2015 general election, but now regrets This as he claimed the Prime Minister had failed in running Trinidad and Tobago. Saying former PNM leader, the late Patrick Manning in 2014, had begged him to never help Rowley. Jack, why you didn't listen to Manning, Jack? He said Manning begged him to never help Rowley and calm Dwayne Dweetin Imbert to run the country, as they would ruin TNT. Warner said in 2015 he had disregarded that advice and secretly met at a private house in Westmoreland with Rowley. Jack, we met there every Tuesday for almost 3 months to strategize and to plan for a PNM victory in 2015. Now you all must remember, Jack Warner is a powerful man. When Jack Warner had the ILP, he had 102,000 votes. Rowley only beat Kamla in the last election with Jack by about 38,000 votes. So all you know, it's a catastrophe coming. Oh God! Licks all over the East-West corridor. Rowley, Blankman, you're going and get blank in Sawa, blank in St. Joseph, blank in Tunapuna, blank in Toko, blank in Maruga, blank in San Fernando, blank in Sangre Grande, blank in Tobago East and West. Tobago don't want to see you, boy. Warner related Rowley's promise. Oh Lord, Jack. Rowley and promise? That's an oxymoron, Jack. You should have known better, Jack. That's like on the Titanic. The girl should have shared the raft, but she let Jack sink. Rowley was on the raft. How you let Jack sink, Rowley? Jack, you understand? Marsha go deal with him, no worry. Warner related Rowley's promises to him to reduce inequities among people, corruption, poverty, and to improve TNT. When Kamla came into power 2010, May, the poverty rate was 19.8%. Kamla, Glenn Ramadan Singh, Skippy, and the United National Congress in the People Partnership got that down to 16.7%. Before COVID, Rowley pushed that poverty rate up to 23.82%, the highest rate in the history of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And he had tell Jack in Westmoreland, I'm going to help you reduce poverty, Jack. Rowley, you failed. You blank on poverty. Let's see what else he told Jack. He said, Jack, I'm going to remove inequities amongst the people. But Jack, he took laptop, he took school feeding, he taxed the poor people, he take away the fuel subsidy, he didn't build a school, he take away sport funding, he take away Kamla grant, he take away everything. He increased the gap. Jack. Needless to say, wait. He had promised one thing else. To reduce corruption. Jack! Oh God! The man removed procurement, removed board. He and Smallpin gone and buy board, spending all your money and come and tell you, who better to spend your money than me? Where gravel roll by me? Where everything going up by me? When I lie on Manning, when I lie on Email Gate, who better to spend all your money? And all you take that from Rowley, boy? Rowley? Jack, I forgive you, but it's painful, Jack. People suffer children's school book, textbook, detergent gone up, oh God, Taruba helping me, Jack, everything went up. The man put back VAT. Kamla take off VAT on food for people to eat. The man take VAT and slap it back on poor people. Poor people can't drive the car. He taxed them, he raised motor vehicle tax. He and Imbert, the two men, Manning beg you, Jack. Yes, man. Needless to say, says Jack, not one of Dr. Rowley's promises was kept. And over the last 5 years, I have watched as Trinidad and Tobago has become worse off rather than better. Archie, put on that camera and line up a video there. I wonder if you have it from a Yankee Rasta out there wearing a P&M jersey. I'll come into that just now. Look for it there for me. TNT has become worse off rather than better. The rich have gotten richer. The poor have gotten poorer. And the middle class has dwindled. This is Jack Austin Warner, a black man, a proud, strong black man, a man who went into football and improved football for the world. Africa, the continent of black people, he brought them into the fold, brought them into power, increased funding, increased football from 168 countries to 207 countries. He took the Caribbean of black people and got them into a strong unit to deal with Europe in football. He increased funding to all Caribbean territories. He helped Trinidad and Tobago go to the World Cup. This is a black man, a strong man. Jack Warner, not a blank man. Warner then claimed corruption today was 10 times worse than under the former government. But subtle. Why subtle? Because the newspapers leaving it. The newspapers not talking about PDVSA, Delcy, Maduro. The newspapers not telling us about the procurement and lack thereof for the ferries. They're not telling us about how a little company next to where we would just drink rum and soda by Frankie's in Tongue on the Avenue get 3.62 billion because his brother swearing and the breeze blow the money there. Why we not investigating that? How come the paper factory, oh God, it a Douglas politics only, have all kind of horse down in Taruba here. Warner then claimed corruption today was 10 times worse than under the former government. But subtle, he lamented ships bought from Australia without tender and 1.2 billion spent on Tobago Airport despite the current lull in travel. Not only that, the lull existed before. Under Kamla Prasad Bisesa in 2014, over 97,000 foreigners would land in Tobago and spend money. By 2017, that had dropped down to 17,000. A drop of 80,000 visitors who would spend an average of 2,000 US. Rowley has decimated the economy of Tobago. Economist Vanessa James has estimated that the economy of Tobago has diminished by some 12% over the last 4 years and 11 months. And that Tobagonians are suffering under Rowley. I asked if he would talk to Rowley. Jack said no. What are you talking to Rowley for? What are you talking to Rowley for? He done talk. He put me in trouble. Jack say if I on that, he done with that talk. The man lied him. But the papers still want him talk. Are you ready with our video? Play this. No, you don't have it? Alright. Let me go from one strong, powerful black man to a blank man now. Keith Christopher Rowley is unfazed by Kamla's race baiting, he claimed. Now everybody knows Kamla. If you listen to her whole speech, didn't it have no race? It's blank, man. That you blank people from coming in. You blank the economy. You blank foreign direct investment. You blank the pro league. You blank the children with the laptop. You blank the hospitals with medicine. You blank the people road for 5 years. You blank people jobs. 103,000 people lost work. You blank everybody. But you coming now to say Kamla call you a black man? First and foremost, being a black man is a proud thing. It's not derogatory. Secondly, you are not a black man. You might be black on the outside, but we ain't know what color on the inside. It's like a rainbow. Like you have Skittles on the inside, but you're just happy on the inside. But let me listen to your Prime Minister with his petty, disgusting, dirty politics, because he cannot come and tell you his economic policy was good. He cannot come and tell you his social net was good. He cannot, and by the way, when he lost on August 10th, all them grant that they were supposed to give all year for COVID and so on, Kamala go make sure you get it fast, eh? Because Kamala would have done fling out that already. Efficiency. Them can't even fling out. Them can't even print check, but want to run a government. Listen to Rowley. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has accused opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar of waging another racially motivated campaign after the latter appeared to attack his race yet again. Even for a newspaper to print this nonsense, a non-issue, but you see how they play games, they try to give it some credibility. They should really be saying, Rowley, talk about policy, Kamala said blank, that's a non-story, move on. But no, but it's all right. Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, says Rowley, has been leading a quiet racial campaign for a very long time, and then she came out openly. What is a quiet racial campaign? Rowley Tobago is black, 92% black. You shattered the economy to make it drop by 12%. You shattered the tourism international by 80,000 visitors annually, and the domestic tourism in July and August from 659,000 under Kamala to 159,000. You reduce tourist arrivals by the domestic air and sea bridge by 500,000 people per year for 3 years, and you are talking about Kamala's anti-what policy? Helping black people earn money, put food on the table, get education is against black people. You have black people hungry, you starving UTT, you close down MIC in La Brea and Pointe, you shut down NESC in La Brea and Pointe. Kamala had all these things running good. So what are you talking about, sir? There are very many occasions when you in the media would have seen accusing me of being in the pockets of the 1%. That was an attack on the Syrian community. No, sir. That was an attack on rich people. She says you are in the pocket of rich people, not Syrian. Anybody. Kusal is Syrian. Kalko is Syrian. Junior Sami is Syrian. Who getting all the contract? Tell me a black contractor that turned billionaire under you, Rowley. Show me a big black contractor who get a $500 million contract. Show me. Shanghai Construction is black. Junior Sami, Kalko, Danny, who? So what are you talking about? All you do is suffer black people, talk down to black people, cuss black people, tell them they're Ghettorians. Fitzgerald Hines tell the young black people they don't want nothing, they're lazy and worthless and they don't want to sweat. While you hand Paris Al-Rawi a la rental a la... Run, Paris, run! Eh? I hear there's a new one for you, boy, Paris. Run, Paris, run! In your tight pants. Don't get chafed, you know. Angus Young, 3.62 billion. That's a black man, black company, black investment, Rowley. What are you talking about race? Trinidad and Tobago, we fed up a race. We are no race. We talking policy, job creation, children, education, building schools, funding UTT, UE campus in South and Tobago, sport fishing, fisherman with regular gas, bringing back fuel subsidy, cutting tax, creating jobs. These things have no race. This is for the Trinidad and Tobago people, the red, white and black race. I had enough of him. But now, Archie, please put up my favorite PNM political analyst, the analyst, Dr. Winford James. Put him up there for me now, man. You have him there? Dr. Winford James, boy. Look at him, man. You know, remember just about 2 weeks ago, I had to give him plaudits. You can leave him up, forget me, leave Winford James. But Winford James, election call, and the Balize come back on the forehead one time. Listen to Winford James, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a doctor, political analyst, Dr. Winford James, says opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar's racially tinged attack against Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley will undoubtedly have repercussions during the general election campaign. So this man states categorically that Kamla Prasad Bisesa made a racially tinged attack at Rowley. When anybody heard his speech, no, she was talking blank man, blank man, blank man, blank meaning zero. And he comes to tell total untruths and fibs to the national population on a newspaper, stating categorically that Kamla Prasad Bisesa, who did not attack anyone on race, made a racial attack. This clown here. I don't know about the blank part in the video. I listened to said, I don't know about the blank part. Now listen to this man. This man is giving an analysis, an opinion to the population, but is telling you that he did not listen to Kamla's speech. Listen, I don't know about the blank part of it. The video I listened to says black, he said in a phone interview. So the little 7 seconds that PNM people push in to try and say that Kamla said black when we hear in blank, that's all he listened to of a 46-minute speech, and has the audacity as a doctor to talk definitively about Kamla Prasad Bisesa, this clown who you all keep printing. What sort of doctor would do that? How can you give an opinion on something you didn't listen to in totality? And this is what they print, and this is the games they play with serious election. Dr. Winford James, shame on you, boy. Saying that inferences still have to be made as to who the black man might be. James said there are logical suspicions and he might be giving the politicians tend to speak in code. He going on to analyze where the talk was and who it was, and he has not listened to the speech. He is saying what he heard in a 6-second clip and talking a whole article and saying that Kamla would pay the price for race baiting, which she did not do. Dr. Winford James, boy, when you rest your head tonight on that balize, I hope a piece of stick choke you in your brain to stimulate it, to shock it into action. You have no shame, sir, and you are a doctor. Wow. Over 300 Swiss port workers retrenched. Petrotrain shut down. 5,389 permanent workers gone. 6,000 temporary workers gone. 8,000 other jobs around the defense line gone. 103,000 jobs gone before COVID. And now add on 300 more. And all you're thinking about voting for Rowley? Blank man, how many of those 103,000 people pre-COVID were black people who lost their jobs? How many in Tobago lost their secondary income in the tourism industry that you shattered because you collapsed the sea bridge by your poor decisions? Rowley now blaming Kamla because the people don't have water. I need to drink some water before I continue with that. We taking a small break, get some popcorn. We now start going and deal with Rowley. Rowley, you are the greatest advertisement for Kamla. Every time you open your mouth, intelligent people realize, oh good, we can't vote for that. We coming back. Share it.
I'm Sean Sobers, your UNC candidate for San Fernando West.
Now is the time! No! No! The time is no! No! The time is no! No! The time is no! What time it is? No! What time it is? No! What time it is? No! Now is the time for action! What time it is? No! What time it is? No! What time it is? No! Now is the time for action! Now is the time to cast your vote! Now is the time to start the work! Now is the time we bring your hope! Now is the time for action! Now is the time to take a stand! Constituency of the plan! Put up your hand if you understand. Now is the time to put them out. 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 Now is the time.
San Fernando West, you are ready for a change. Trinidad and Tobago, you're ready for a change. We all want to get Trinidad and Tobago working again. I, Sean Sobers, your UNC candidate, will get that job done. Together we will make a change. Vote UNC, vote Sean Sobers for San Fernando West come August the 10th. We ready.
What time it is? What time it is? Now is the time for action. What time it is? What time it is? What time it is? Now is the time for action. Now is the time to cast your vote. Now is the time to start the work.
Oh Lord, Archie, sorry boy. You see this switching off mic with this live thing? Sorry. Echo. Share the live, please. Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Douglas Politics. We're down in Taruba in the constituency of Pointe, Pierre, with a lot of lovely people here talking some serious facts. Election is about serious business. You can enjoy it a little bit, you walk, you meet people, you greet. But you have to read, you have to understand the policies, you have to understand what you're voting for your children's future. All of us know. And it's very difficult to remember because with the mass media not printing the truth and helping Rowley to obfuscate, sometimes you don't remember. Back in 2014, 2015, under Kamla Prasad Bissessa with Ganga Singh as the Minister of Public Utilities, 74% of the population had a 24/7 supply of water. There was a program between Ganga Singh, Minister of Public Utilities, and Jack Warner and then Suraj Rambachan to work together as WASA will go first to change out the aging pipe infrastructure, and then the Ministry of Works will come and pave. And they were starting from the outskirts and coming in. Since 2015, that program was shut down, and the deterioration in the pipes under the water, under the ground, has gotten worse. All of us know that right now, only 22% of the population get a 24/7 supply. That's a 52% drop from under Kamla. We know that. And that has been existing and getting worse for the last 4 years and 11 months. Remember when they swore in Minister Lahan from Ghana twice? Because you forget to tell them he was a man from Ghana also. He came in and he boasted that by December 31st, 2017, he will get the number of leaks down from 2,800 down to 200. They went up from 2,800 to 4,200. Every time WASA turns on their pumps from the reservoirs where they change the water to potable water, where they put chlorine and chemicals, every time they try to pump it to you, 55% of the water is lost because the pipes have holes. They are degraded, they're dung, they've gone through. Rowley and Lahan spent $125 million US on well creation, well development, new sources, groundwater flow, and a little storage. We don't have a supply problem. We have a distribution problem. But each of the editorials and the newspapers keep talking and promoting when the PNM says our reservoirs are low. If you have a bucket and God filling up the bucket with rain every day, but you have one big mako hole in the bottom of the bucket and the bucket go empty, don't blame God, fix the bucket. Rowley has done nothing, and now, oh my goodness, blame Kamla. Listen to Keith Christopher Rowley. the United National Congress in the UNC operatives in state water provider WASA are sabotaging the areas in constituency. I can't even read the nonsense. I can't even read it. It's so dotish. Rowley is trying to say that UNC in WASA, while the PNM in charge, right? That are UNC in WASA who are sabotaging right now the water supply in Tunapuna, St. Joseph, and Sawa Barataria. The 3 seats that he is trailing the UNC by 7 points or more. So Andrew Gabriel give him the poll. He realized he's losing Tunapuna by 7 points. He's losing St. Joseph by 8 points. And he's down in Sawa Barataria by 12 percentage points because the balance man can't talk. And now he started to say that Kamla have WASA UNC in yellow, turning off the water to people. And here what he say, the people of Santa Margarita have had no water for 12 days, he said. Santa Margarita is a bourgeois area in St. Augustine with $1 million properties and rich people. So Rowley ain't care about all in Lavanti who didn't have water for 6 months. Rowley ain't care but only in Arima, and Arima mean water, who didn't have water for 3 months. It didn't bother Rowley down in the train line in Marabella and here in Pointe, that only didn't have water for 12 weeks between February and May. It didn't bother him. But rich people in Santa Margarita didn't have water for 12 days. Rowley gone in a panic. Let me read out some of the areas that did not have water for more than 12 days in the last 6 months. Kucharan Trace, Gasparello, Londonville, Glencoe, where Rowley office is. He didn't even know he didn't have office, water in the office because he don't go to EMP office. Bocaro Road, Brazil, Petit Valley, Lavanti, Maracas Valley, St. Joseph, Ojo Road, Rodney Charles, Arena in Naparima, areas in Couva South, Mayaro, Debe, Pinal, Barakpo, Arima, parts of Diego Martin, San Rafael, Esperance, and Duncan Village, Manzanilla, Malabar phases 1, 3, and 4, Tumpuna Road, Greenville, La Oqueta, Orapun Gardens, Golden Grove Road, Freeport, Arun Road, El Socorro, St. Helena Piaco, Congo Village, Ramai Trace, Kucharan Trace, Transfer Avenue, all these places had no water for months. Rowley didn't care. He now get a poll that said Kamla and the UNC beating him in 3 marginal and Santa Ball UNC turning off water. Play, which video you are there? Play this one for me.
We have had to ration water for the country because we do not have enough water in storage. So there is a shortage of water across the country because our normal rainfall has not occurred. So if there are people who want to say that in this drought they can provide the water that the government can provide, then they're trying to exploit what is in effect a national problem of a drought. What is bad though is that they have the elements in WASA who are making extreme hardship for some people. I can tell you now that in Tunapuna, St. Joseph, and Barataria, there are people in WASA who have been interfering with the water supply in the rationing, creating hardship for some people in the hope that those people will be angry with the government. Yesterday morning, I had to ask the Minister of Public Utilities to miss the cabinet meeting and go to WASA to ensure that that behavior is curbed so that people in the upper hills can get their water, because there are people in WASA carrying out the UNC's instructions and turning off the water. In Santa Margarita, they did not have water for 12 days. All of a sudden, in a rationing system, they will get water every other day or thereabouts. 12 days they didn't get water because there are people in WASA who are interfering with the water supply to influence the vote. And I trust that after the 11th of October, there will be no incentive for that because we are going to beat them in.
After the 11th of October, your clung, you will be home in Goodwood Park with your new tires. The election is August 10th. Are you balling after the 11th of October? You don't even know when you call the election. All you really want to vote for that man? Something wrong with he. You understand? This man now find out. That is why Kamala says only the 1% you like. Some rich person from Santa Margarita call you and tell you, I have no water 12 days, and you were so moved you went in cabinet and tell Fitzgerald Pumpsite Hines, get your rasta tail out of here and go up Wassa and make sure Santa Margarita have water. You see why Kamala say like 1%? 1% is not Syrian. 1% is the rich people, and that's all you care about. You didn't care about this whole list of people who suffer without water for months and months. You didn't send no minister to run by Wassa to make sure the poor people had water. You are Camille giving them tank, and the tank only collecting air, jar breeze, because no water in the tap. But Santa Margarita, some friend of yours with plenty money call you from Santa Margarita, and you come in a press conference that bother you so much that Santa Margarita, the Goodwood Park of St. Augustine, didn't have water. Boy, I know you want poor people to vote for you. Something is wrong with you. Play the next video there. Play the next video, Archie. Yeah, get it? Yeah, download it. The 1 minute and 32. Archie, what going on with you? Like you come down to Aruba to enjoy yourself, boy. Bloody on. Nice. We into Aruba. A letter from Gary Aboud. A brilliant letter. You have to read it. The only thing is, Gary, please don't lump everybody together. I know you're Keith Rowley friend and you prefer the PNM a little bit. All right. But I know that you're environmentalist, fishermen, friends of the sea, and you love Trinidad and Tobago. But Gary, really and truly, while nobody was perfect, nobody's saying perfect, but Kamala was better. Kamala increased the people who were getting 24/7 supply. When she came in May 25th, 2010, only 36% of the people were getting 24/7 supply. She and Ganga Singh and them raised that up to 74%. It's back down to 22%. So you can't say that PNM and UNC is the same, Gary. I know you're trying to play middle of the road, but you are a man who works on facts, okay? And you know that the UNC had a program to fix the infrastructure gradually and make sure that the pipes were fixed first before we pave the road. Every time the PNM under Rowley pave a road, the next day Wassa come and dig it up to fix pipe. We have now over 4.4 that turns on their pumps full. The infrastructure is shattered, and Rowley in 4 years and 11 months has done nothing to fix it, and water people are suffering, and he only get to know about water problems because rich people in Santa Margarita call him. Faris boy, you lost another case. Run, Faris, run. Faris a la rental a la tight pants, boy. The PNM, Keith Christopher Rowley, Faris Al-Rawi, Stuart Smallpin Young, who was the lawyer for Malcolm Jones. You all down in Pointe will understand that the main reason that Petrotrin was under pressure with debt was a decision and decisions made by executive chairman Malcolm Jones. Remember, Malcolm Jones was not a regular chairman. He was an executive chairman, which means he could have made decisions on his own. Just like Calder Hart, he didn't need the whole board approval. And when he made that World GTL decision and the gas to liquids, and he lost $13 billion of taxpayer money, lost it, and it bust with no revenue to come in. That put pressure on Petrotrin to the tune of $1.5 billion per year in interest payments. And Rowley is saying that is mismanagement of Kamala. Rowley, Al-Rawi, and Smallpin Stuart Young, who Smallpin was Malcolm Jones' lawyer of record. And when he came into the office of the Attorney General under Al-Rawi, under Rowley, They pull off the case against Malcolm Jones and let him go scot-free. And then they appeal the case. The government, Anand Ram, Logan and Chambers appealed the case. They lost in the High Court. They lost in the appeal court. They took it to the Privy Council. And the Privy Council just ruled against Faris Al-Rawi and said that the case against Malcolm Jones must continue or start over and go back. Understand that Faris Al-Rawi has lost 29 cases straight. If you lose 29 or anything, whether you're in sport, whether you play cards, whether you play pool or darts, what if you drive car, drag race, if you lost 29 straight, you should hang up your boots, hang up your driving gloves and give up. So all you send Faris Al-Rawi, a rental, a tight pants home and vote short son sobers on August 10th. Take him out of San Fernando West because San Fernando West touching Pointe and want David Lee and his posse to spread across into San Fernando West and across Trinidad and Tobago. When we talk now, we are talking right here and we're looking at Petrotrin. Let me tell you that this election is about Petrotrin. It's about oil and gas. It's about Trinidad and Tobago being manufacturers, refiners, and producers. Keith Christopher Rowley, who went against all the advice, who closed down Petrotrin by himself, his cabinet, because he said that the board under Espinay recommended. Espinay gone in court and say, not me, nah. The board didn't recommend that. The Lashley report, the McKinley report, the Solomon report said, do not shut it down. Cut it down, make it more efficient, make it lean and mean. Rowley shut it down and put this country under pressure, the whole country, for foreign exchange. The foreign reserves that Kamala left was 12.26 billion US. It's down to 7.1 pre-COVID. That's 5 billion US just gone. The Heritage and Stabilization Fund was 7.6 billion under Kamala. Imba just says 5.9 billion, but he managing it well. We really don't know where it is because they don't know what they did. He took out $4.2 billion for COVID, and all you ain't get your salary relief grant yet. Only 50,000 people have gotten out of 153,000. We have not gotten any business grant, rental grant, nothing. People are suffering because they are inefficient and incompetent, but they come in to tell you vote for them because we drinking rum and we waving red jersey. We have to be serious. I have some questions for the board of Paria, and I'm going to ask these questions because, ladies and gentlemen, the media not asking the questions. The media like they're not interested. Our country is losing 2 billion US a year and the media don't seem to want to know. Our country is in jeopardy of sanctions from the USA and the media don't seem to want to know. The media don't want to know why Delcy came, why Small Pin Young opened the border for a sanction jet. The media don't want to know why Rowley, best friend of 40 years, Newman George, sold gasolina to St. Eustatius and then say it went to Aruba. Aruba say we ain't know nothing about that. When we know that the gas came from Augusta, Italy, 321,000 barrels. It came as Shell, towards Shell as a consignee. It changed to Trafigura PTE. It docked. It entered Trinidad and Tobago waters on the Manolates on the 16th. It went into Pointe right here on the 21st. Delcy came on the 26th or 27th. She was supposed to come on the 16th, the same time as the Manolates. The Pointe purchased Paria purchased 200,000 barrels from Wilmer, Ruperti and Trafigura for 7.94 million US. They then turned around and sold it to Wilmer, Ruperti, ES Trading, Euro Trading. But they sold 148,908 barrels for 5.634 million US. Paria and Newman George said the money was paid on the 15th of April from Deutsche Bank to RBC Bank. But the invoice that I have right here was not generated till the 27th. So what did they pay? They didn't have an invoice? You ever go and buy a chair? You buy, even when you get a doubles, you could get a receipt now. How you going to buy 5.6 6.634 million, or you sell 5.634 million US dollars in a product without an invoice. The invoice also had RBC, First Citizens Bank, not RBC, but the media don't care about that. The whole international community, USA, Houston, UK, Venezuela, Colombia, news reports, Reuters, saying the Americans investigating that this is sanction busting. The American ambassador had to blow out Stuart Smallpin and correct him. Ms. Chung from the State Department had to warn our business people about doing business with Venezuela, that the USA is frowning upon that. Why are we saying? We are not saying that we must bow down to anybody. However, we have to eat. 72% of our food comes from the USA. 80% of our drinks come from the USA. We don't grow enough food to feed ourselves here. Our entertainment comes from there. Our goods and services that we need, raw materials for manufacturing, come from there. Our people are over there. Our people like to use US dollars to buy things on Amazon and so on for their businesses. We like to go over to the USA, to Disney World and so on holiday. We like to bring in barrel from the USA. Sanctions from the USA will affect everybody in this country throughout. But yet the media is not asking questions. Why is that? Why they just trying to go into election without discussing a critical issue? No questions, no articles, nothing, no follow-up from the Guardian, none from the Newsday. But we know why the Newsday have Judy Raymond. But what about the Express? Nothing. The Express printer Asha Javid article to tell us about the sanction clause that she see while she was lying down next to Stuart Young. We don't want to know that. The sanction clause, why was it out? A sanction clause is a standard clause when you're selling gasolina. Why was it not included? So why did they have to put it in? And then they say they put it in after the contract was done. Because the payment was on the 15th, they put in the clause on the 23rd. So where they put the clause? In the K-Pax? So let's ask some questions of Paria. And let's ask some questions of Rowley. Because Petrotrin, oil and gas, Paria heritage is on the ballot. And to save the oil and gas industry, you have to vote UNC, vote Kamala, vote David Lee, and move these PNM out of there. Were any of you in the diplomatic center from Paria? Questions for the board. Were any of you in the diplomatic center on 27 March 2020? Did any of you meet with Venezuelan citizens at that time? If so, with whom did you meet? Who invited you to the diplomatic center? Was the invitation by letter, phone call, or WhatsApp? At the security desk entering, which one of you board members, what did you say? Who were you going to meet at the diplomatic center? Did any of you meet with greet the Honorable Prime Minister Keith Christopher Rowley on that fateful day when Delcy Rodriguez came in under COVID, borders closed, on a sanctioned PDVSA jet? Did any of you on the Paria board members meet with the Honorable Stuart Smallpin Young? What is or what has been Paria's role in the war against COVID? We haven't seen Paria do anything about COVID, so why was Paria there for a COVID meeting? How was ES Euro Shipping aware that Paria had fuel to sell? Paria had bought fuel supposedly for us and our domestic consumption. Where was the report to tell you that our consumption due to COVID would go down and therefore you had excess? Please provide all of the information on the legal limits of spending approval for the executive and the board approval, because it is my understanding that you need board approval for a purchase of $50 million. Do you all agree that a sale of 5.6 million US or 35 million TT did not require board approval? Is a sanction clause a standard clause in gas sales? It is a standard clause. You see the people down here, no gas. Please provide any and all decisions made by minutes of board notes, etc. following discussions Friday, March 27 about COVID. And regarding the press release, remember Paria put out a press release that was fraught with untruths and left more questions than answers. But the media not asking, was any money paid to Trafigura? Did Trafigura pay Paria any money? If so, what invoice, what bank account, when? How were the customs documents that were laid in Parliament, how were they dated 54 days after the ship left? Y'all who work at a port know that a ship cannot leave without customs documents. And the media don't care about this. And you are now telling me that Rowley is saying 4 days ago that he is going to sign off a patriotic deal to sell the refinery to Patriotic Limited with clause number 7 and conditionality number 7, which states that they must sign a MOU with Trafigura PTE to lock Trinidad and Tobago inextricably to Maduro, to Delcy, to narco-terrorism, to money laundering? Is that what we want? Are y'all saying that a lame duck prime minister 20-something days before an election where he will be voted out and removed from office should sign away our children's future? Y'all find that acceptable? We coming back, share the life. We nearly finished. Douglas Politics. We into Ruba, Pointe, Pierre, David Lee.
That's we had. Parasite fisherman, and that's we had.
The food in the nation, that is, we have the food basket. Agriculture is the main thing in Moruga. We have no oil industry. We have nothing, no asphalt, nothing. It's fish and provision. Under the present administration, they neglect that from day one. Recently, we had a gas station built there under the past MP, Mr. Clifton Dikoto, and when the next representative came in, he just leave it there as a bad job.
Same thing with the government. When Wassa come in and they dig up the road, let have a contractor crew moving with them. We could work with that. That is just all. And this is a promise. You see how much little rough road that have going on the road? I want to know well where the MP them that be passing to go. Them are in helicopter or something?
We live in Muruga with 2020. We don't even have an ATM machine down here. We don't even have a fire station close to us in Muruga in case our house burning down. These are the things that we need down here. We don't even have an ambulance in the health office so that in case somebody gets sick in the night, we can rush them to the hospital immediately.
Resources of Moruga Tableland spans from ecotourism to agriculture, to we actually have oil in Cat's Hill and Khorasan, to we have a youthful population that could develop these entities, and we want to tap into this. We want to give hope to the single parents, hope to the motherless, and hope to the fatherless. We want to actually put food on each and every table.
And do you know that in Trinidad, Moruga Tableland, we grows the largest amount of pineapple in the Caribbean, and for the years we have been lobbying with the Ministry of Agriculture to get assistance in opening a pineapple processing plant right here in Trinidad. The farmers of Moruga Tableland, we all are moving with Michelle.
Michelle, don't matter what, now is the time for her, and she's supposed to be the next MP.
This lady will come and she will help we good. You understand?
Yes, she will do nice for me.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm really getting tired, boy. The Douglas. Archie, you had to put a note for me to remember to turn on the mic. I'm too dotish. I go give myself a big. You know how long I do that? Rowley, you must be fed up here and they'll talk about you, your lack of intelligence, your lack of policy, your lack of care, the way you like to bully woman and thing. You must be fed up on me. So what I will do, Archie, I want to hear from a PNM candidate. I want to hear from somebody who's in the Red Army what they really and truly think of Keith Christopher Rowley. Because we know Kamala say he's a blank man. You know the whole UNC know he's incompetent. We know that he lost jobs, the economy shatter, Pointe in a mess, the entire Southwest Peninsula, education in a mess, sport in a mess, culture in a mess. But Archie, let me hear from one of Rowley's PNM candidates for 2020 election. Let me hear you big up Rowley. Play it, man. Mash him up.
Hi everyone, my name is Pierre, and I am the People's National Movement prospective candidate for the Cuba North constituency.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Contractor Shada Satram.
Oh no, something inside so strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharda Satram. I am a young contractor. My company was performing successfully until 2016, not long before the Rowley administration came into government, and immediately my business started to decline. Did you know that this government awarded a contract to a Chinese contractor to construct 6,000 HDC houses? Tonight, I want to ask the Prime Minister, why do we have to go to China to find people to build houses? Are you telling me that local contractors aren't capable of building houses? Why does government still owe monies to contractors? 4 years you have been asleep. You can't love the PNM more than you love your own country. Imagine, I was born here. I invested here, and along with other small contractors, had to sell our equipment and machinery to make ends meet while our Prime Minister is building China. They spent monies on building roads, and even that was given to specialist contractors. So Prime Minister, are you telling me that we the locals can't build anything? We can't build interchanges, we can't build roads, and now we can't build houses? These Chinese companies do not hire a single local, but are being paid using hard-working taxpayers' money. This so-called government is stone deaf, I tell you. They do not care about people. Thousands of construction workers have been sent home in the past 4 years. Just a few weeks ago, Trinidad Aggregate Products sent home 100 workers. That equates to 100 more hungry families. Tell me, citizens, is this fair? Prime Minister, you have failed the people of this country. You have delivered nothing and you have done nothing. The people of this country are suffering and we are fed up. 4 hard years under this Rowley government. No jobs, no prospects, no opportunities to help improve the lives of ordinary citizens. Or so they say. But there's plenty money for the PNM 4Fs: family, friends, financiers, and Faris. And for the useless minister. And for the useless minister Senanan to buy land in Europe, and for PNM ministers' wives to receive million-dollar contracts in the health sector. There's money to drink expensive champagne and send up roaming bills. Up till now, not one plan, not one program to create jobs for you, the taxpayers of this country. This Palansin Prime Minister brought back property tax, put back VAT on food items. Wages are fixed whilst food prices are going up, up, up. Tell us, Prime Minister, how are we to survive if we don't have any work or opportunity to work? My brothers and sisters, we are in a crisis. If you are fed up and ready for change, show me your voting finger.
I agree with the Pierre. That Pierre candidate, that speech is 11 months ago. Shada, the Douglas agree with you, girl. But you're like you're going to drink champagne. You didn't want White Oak and soda like you drink right here. You're going to drink champagne, girl. This is the first time Anil agree with a PNM since 2003. You want Chada? That was amazing. You were right on point. I couldn't say it better myself. You are brilliant. You are on point. Ladies and gentlemen out there, take Chada advice. Vote UNC all over the country. She tell you, she gone on the inside and tell you about that at all. That man is good. The 4 Fs. Oh, let me be careful before I say something wrong. The 4 Fs. If I say it too fast, they go say Anil cost you. You understand? Blank man. Let me tell you all something. We came down Pointe. We went all over Trinidad and Tobago. I went down Library. I see blank man. I see the blank man candidate in Library walking by himself. He get blank. I see Victor Roberts in Library. The people of Library, young, old, Indian, African, Douglas, Chinese, Syrian, all kind of thing. Yellow down in Library. I come in Pointe gone with David Lee already. Gone with the UNC to bring back energy, to bring back jobs, to bring back water in the pipe. Shada girl, we agree with you on the August the 10th. We on the ballot. Look, Archie, show them what we going to do August 10th. Put up that thing there. Play it, Archie. On August 10th, make them see the blank. Make them see the blank. Understand? Look at the blank. Across Trinidad and Tobago, they don't know the gate. Paria, Saddam Hussein, 12 points care. Tuna Puna, you hungry boy. Why? You hungry boy. David Naked, 8 points care. Nabila Green, Toko Sangigrandi, 5 points clear and climbing. In St. Joseph, Aloy Hunt has gone 8 points clear of the convent girl. Oh my goodness, convent girl, what are you going to do? You're going to use what? Medicine, pay 100,000 to help you come back? Oh my goodness, we are fed up of listening to you talk like this, convent girl, dear Helsing. We sell you back to your pharmacy. Are you going to get a pharmacology degree? Because we are putting Aloy Hunt in St. Joseph, across Trinidad and Tobago, Toko Sangre Grande, San Fernando West, Sean Sobers at 8:30. Tune in, go live, Atlantic, UNC, all the websites. You will see the candidates for the United National Congress forming government on August 10th. Vote UNC, show Rowley, the blank. Good night from Pointe. David Lee, onward to victory. God bless. Good night.
Make way, yes. The queen is coming. The queen is coming. The queen is coming.